In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the thermostat housing on your Kia Optima. Located under the hood in front of the vehicle, let's get started. Before we go ahead and start this job, we need to make sure the vehicle is cold to the touch because we're going to be opening the radiator. So go ahead and take the cap off. Put it to the side, and now we're going to go ahead and drain it. To drain the coolant, we're going to go ahead and go under the vehicle. If your vehicle has a tray, it's going to have 4 10mm bolts located around the front of the vehicle. Go ahead and remove those now. After that, you're going to see the drain for the radiator. Before you open that, make sure you have a drain pan to pick up the fluid. So go ahead and crack that open. And now just let it drain. Now that it's done draining, we're going to go ahead and close the valve. Next up, we're going to remove the engine cover. Simply grab onto the front and lift up. We're going to do the same on the back side. Next up, we're going to use a 10mm socket and remove these 2 bolts. Once you have those bolts out of the way, go ahead and lift on the intake piece and slide it out. Next up, we're going to be removing the battery. For that, we're going to use a 10mm socket, and we're going to start with the negative cable. Go ahead and loosen it. Do not take it completely out. It just needs to be loose. Grab the terminal and move it to the side. We're going to be doing the same process on the positive, only that the positive has a little copper. Go ahead and flip it over, and now we can access the 10mm nut. Next up, we're going to take this bracket off. It's going to have a 12mm bolt. Using a 12mm socket and an extension, go ahead and take it out. Remove the bolt, grab the bracket, and slide it out. Now go ahead and grab the battery and slide it out. Using a pair of needle nose pliers, we're going to move the clamp. Move it back, and now slide the hose off. We're going to be doing the same thing on this one. Next up, we're going to be removing this intake pipe. And for that, we're going to be taking this clamp and the one on the throttle body. So using a 10mm socket, go ahead and just get this loose. Do not take it out completely. We're going to be doing the same on the throttle body side. Like I mentioned, do not take it out, just get it loose. Now that we have those loose, go ahead and grab the pipe and slide it out. And just get it out of the way. With the pipe out of the way, we can now remove the filter housing. One of our bolts is missing. We will need to replace that. Using a 10mm socket, go ahead and remove this bolt. Grab onto the filter housing and slide it out. Next up, we're going to be removing the hoses from the thermostat housing. In our case, these have been replaced with the screw type hose clamps. If your car still have the squeeze type, you will go ahead and use pliers to remove those. In our case, we're going to use a small flathead screwdriver to take them off. We're going to start with the top one. We're going to go ahead and get it loose. Move the clamp away from the part. One thing to keep in mind before we remove the hose, even though we drain the coolant from the radiator, there might still be some coolant inside this housing. So go ahead and have a drain pickup underneath the vehicle to catch all the fluid. You can grab onto the hose. If you have access to it, you can twist it and pull it out. We're going to be doing the same to this one. Move the clamp away and slide the hose off. And we're going to be doing the same to these 2 lines. If you have issues getting the hose off, I recommend to use a 90-degree pick. Being very careful not to tear the hose. You can go ahead and slide it in and just go around it to break that seal off. Move the clamp out of the way and slide the hose off. We're going to be doing the same thing to this one. Being very careful not to tear it. We're going to do the same thing to this hose. Now we have access to the other 2 hoses in the back. Go ahead and take those out. Now we can move on to the electrical connections to get them out of the way. Next up, we need to unplug these connectors in order to remove this harness out of the way. So we're gonna start with this one. All we need to do is slide it up, grab onto the connector, and this metal rod, we push down on it and slide it out. Go ahead and move the connector out of the way, and we're gonna be doing the same thing to these two other ones. Now that we have the connectors off, we're gonna go ahead and slide this off. Now that we have the harness out of the way, there's gonna be another connector that we have to remove. It's right here. Go ahead and pull on the tab and slide it out. Next, we can remove this one. It's gonna be the same thing. Squeeze on the tab and take it out. That's now gonna give us more access to the thermostat housing. Next up, we're gonna unplug this connector. Go ahead and pull on the tab and slide it out. Next up, we're gonna unclip it from this bracket. I like to use a small flathead screwdriver. Go ahead and push on the tab on one side and then do the same on the other side, and that should release it. Move it out of the way. Next up, we're gonna be removing these two 10mm bolts that holds the bracket for the connectors. So go ahead and use a 10mm socket and take those out. Once you take them out, you can simply grab onto the bracket and just move it out of the way. Next up, using a flathead screwdriver, we're gonna go ahead and remove this clamp. We're gonna use a 90-degree pick to get the hose off. Being very careful not to rip it. Once you have it loose, pull it out. And move the hose out of the way. Next, we're gonna remove this one. We're gonna repeat the same process. Next up, we're gonna remove this 10mm bolt. Using a 10mm socket, go ahead and take it out. After you remove the bolt, I like to use a small pry bar. Just being very careful. Go ahead and push the line a little bit. Just make sure that it moves freely. And after you have that, we're gonna go ahead and remove the bolts that hold the whole assembly in place. Using a 12mm socket, go ahead and take it out. Make sure you put it to the side. We're gonna be reusing those. Next up, we're gonna be removing this 12mm nut. Using a 12mm socket, go ahead and take it out. Now we can remove this 12mm bolt. Using a 12mm socket, go ahead and remove it. Now that we have those out of the way, grab onto the assembly and slide it off. And just move it out of the way. Next up, we're gonna use some degreaser and we're gonna spray the surface before we install the new part. Go ahead and spray some on a rag and we're gonna wipe off the area to make sure that it's clean and free of debris. And here we have the new assembly. Before we go ahead and install it, we just wanna take a look. These O-rings should be pre-installed onto the part, but just make sure that it is nice and secure and they're all in evenly. Now we're ready to slide it in. Next up, we're gonna go ahead and install the new part. And for that, we have to slide it in as we feed the pipe through the back of it. We have to do this at the same time. Slide it in, line it up with the pipe, and push it in. Next up, we're gonna install the nut that goes on that stud. We're not gonna tighten it yet, we're just gonna put it on and thread it all the way. Now we're gonna install this bolt. This is just to hold the part in place so we can finalize the pipe that goes in the back of the part. Line it up with the hole, and now just get it snug. Do not tighten it all the way. Now that we have the new thermostat housing in place, we're gonna go ahead and grab onto the pipe that's in the back of it. Make sure that it is bottomed out. Go ahead and install the 10mm bolt that goes right over here by hand. We're gonna go ahead and get it snug. If you can fit a torque wrench, the torque spec for this bolt is 9 foot-pounds. In this case, I'm just gonna get it snug. Next up, we're gonna install this bolt that goes right over here. Go ahead and slide it in and start it by hand. I like to put the socket on a small extension to get easy access to it. So go ahead and bottom it out. And now we're gonna torque it to 14 foot-pounds. We're gonna be torquing this one and also the knot right on this side. And now we can torque this one. Now we can go ahead and connect the hoses in the back. We're gonna start with this one. Grab onto the hose, line it up, make sure that you put it all the way in, and reinstall the clamp. And now we're gonna do the same thing on the next one. When you do this, you wanna make sure that you bottom it out. Next up, we're gonna install the bracket that holds the connector onto the thermostat housing. Go ahead and line up the holes and install the 2 bolts by hand. Go ahead and get them snugged. And now we're gonna torque them to 9 foot-pounds. Now we're gonna go ahead and connect the temperature switch, lined up the connector, push it in, and just give it a light tug to make sure that it is secure. Now that that's connected, we're gonna go ahead and plug in our push valve solenoid, lined up the connector, clip it in place, and just give it a light tug. Now that we have the 2 connectors on, we're gonna go ahead and clip on the harness onto that bracket, line it up, and push it in. Next up, we can do this connector. We're gonna start by pulling the connector the same way it came out, underneath these lines. Lined up this clip and push it in, just like that. Go ahead and plug it in. Make sure you hear a click, and just to make sure, just give it a light tug. Make sure that it is secure. Now we can go ahead and connect these 3 sensors. Line up the connector and push them in. Now we're gonna move on to the front of the assembly, and we're gonna start by installing this hose. Line it up and push it in all the way. Now you can reinstall the clamp. Now we can do the same with the small one. Line it up, push it in, and reinstall the clamp. Now we can go ahead and install this one. Tighten the clamp. Now go ahead and install this one. Next up, we can go ahead and install the upper radiator hose. Now go ahead and install the lower radiator hose. Now that we have all the hoses connected, we can go ahead and reinstall the air box. Line it up in the back, slide it in, and reinstall the 2 10mm bolts that go in the front. Start those by hand, and snug them up. Now we can install the intake pipe. Line it up. We're gonna start by feeding it through the top, and do the same on the throttle body. Next up, we're gonna go ahead and tighten this clamp. Do not over tighten. This is plastic, so just get it snug. We're gonna be doing the same on the throttle body side. Go ahead and install this hose, slide it in, and reinstall the clamp. We're gonna be doing the same on this one. Now we can go ahead and install the battery. We're gonna grab onto the positive terminal, and we're just gonna feed it on top of the battery before we put it in position. Go ahead and slide it in. And now we're gonna go ahead and install the battery tie down. Slide it in and start the bolt by hand. Go ahead and snug it up. Now we can go ahead and install the positive terminal. We're gonna start by opening it up, line it up with the terminal, and slide it in. Go ahead and snug it up. Do not over tighten. Close the terminal. And now we can install the negative terminal. Snug it up. Go ahead and slide this piece of the intake. Line it up in the back and slide it in. Go ahead and line up the holes and install the bolts by hand. Snug them up. Now we can go ahead and install the engine cover. Line it up and push it down. Now it's time to fill in the radiator. Go ahead and install a funnel. Using the recommended fluid by the manufacturer, go ahead and fill in your radiator. Once you have the radiator filled, turn the vehicle on. You want to go ahead and let it idle until the fans kick on. Go ahead and top off the fluid if you need to. Go ahead and remove the funnel. Install your cap. Now take the vehicle on a short drive. Make sure that you have no leaks. Wait for the vehicle to be cool to the touch and just check if you need to top off. That'll be job done.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.